it would be a mistake at this point to start increasing taxes. And the question of how do you pay for this debt is a challenging one. But this notion that you have to run fiscal deficits, that you can't run debt, is not exactly true. Because I mean, in Japan, you've run debt to GDP up to 250% debt to GDP. And in the West, we're getting very concerned that debt's at 100% debt to GDP. Back in the 90s at 30%, we said it would tip over the economies. When it got to 50%, we said this is a disaster. Now we're at 100. So we are scared, tediously scared of debt levels. And it's always been a boogeyman that has never bitten in the past many years. It doesn't mean you can run them up to the tree. You cannot. But we actually don't know what ultimately causes inflation going forward. When you have this sort of debt levels in the economy, you ultimately have to outgrow them. Lesson number one, if you're in a hole, stop digging. Okay, so that would be the first step at some point in time, but you can't do it too soon. What we did in the last decade, post the financial crisis, incredibly loose fiscal policy, incredibly loose monetary policy during the crisis. Spend a lot, loosen monetary policy, great. As soon as we moved out of the crisis stage, we must balance the budget. Tight fiscal policy, keep monetary policy loose, balance the budget, gotta pay down the debt. The whole Tea Party movement in the US. That has proved to be a disaster and massively exacerbated the sort of inequality issues and the tensions that we're seeing play out in the US is a big part of that equation. So we know that that formula will not work.